Hello everybody, welcome to the Gearhead 426 channel. We are finally doing some work on the Z. I know it has been a while. So, this is what we're doing to the Z. So if you look right here, I have a power bleeder and I got some new wheel lug nut things right here. These are the multi-key, something like that. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that. But any which ways, the brakes on this thing are squishy. I tried doing my absolute best to get the brakes as good as I can with the usual method that I do, but it is not working at all. So what we're going to go ahead and do is jack the whole car up. We're going to go ahead and put in a whole bunch of .4 into that reservoir, bleed all the brakes, and swap out all the wheel lugs. I understand that this may not be the most exciting video for the Z, but we have to go ahead and do that kind of stuff. I also need to go ahead and prep the Z for paint. As you can see, I have all the old body panels on it, and what needs to be painted clearly is this fender, the roof, the pillars, and the quarter panels. After all that is painted and whatnot, this car will be good to go. One thing I also need to go ahead and do is finally order the guy to go ahead and come on out to replace the windshield, because this windshield, as you can see, is all cracked up and it also needs an alignment. But before I take it to the alignment shop, I want to go ahead and get all the brakes done, because I know they will complain at me with how bad the brakes are on this thing. Time to go ahead and jack this thing on up, pull all the wheels off, and just get to it. Also, there's another issue with it too, of the AC. It stopped working. I think the expansion valve or the dryer is clogged, one or the other. They're both very cheap, so I just went ahead and bought both of them anyways. I'm not going to go ahead and do that on a video because it's just going to be annoying. I also need to go ahead and resurface these headlights, go ahead and sand them down and whatnot, try to get them nice and clear, put a new clear coat on them and buff them and all that good stuff and whatnot. So those look really good. I do have a new tail light on it. If you guys remember, the tail light on this one is actually gathering water, which really sucks, and thankfully I managed to find a used one that matches this one, of 2006 with the LEDs, and got it for a really good price, and it actually came in much better condition than I expected. I bought it used from a salvage yard, and it came with everything, even the little caps that go over the nuts, which I'm missing all of those, but now I at least have one light that has all of them. And they even sent the nuts for it, or not the nuts, but the bolts for it. Really, really great. Like, super happy about that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jack this thing on up, put it on jack stands, and start pulling it apart. The works. Okay, so all the wheel lugs are broken loose. I already put the car on blocks of wood because it's so freaking low I can't get my jack underneath the front end. But now I'm going to go ahead and throw the jack underneath the front end, jack it on up, throw some jack stands on it, then put a jack on the back end. Okay, so I know you're not supposed to use an impact to go ahead and pull tuner lugs off and whatnot, but I already busted all of them loose, and a big reason why I'm replacing them too is this key. I'm very scared of it. And these guys right here also look like crap. So this is the last time they're ever coming off the car, and they're never going back on. I'm throwing these away. These are all junk and rusted, and I'm scared of that freaking key. That's why I'm going with the other ones, because worst case scenario, if I need to use the socket, I can. Car's off the ground, wheels are off. I need to go ahead and grab my .4 brake fluid that I got and fill the reservoir all the way up, because it is a little low. For some odd reason, my clutch fluid is dark, even though it's new. I guess I'll go ahead and flush that out, because I may as well. And then I need to go ahead and fill our power bleeder right there up with fluid, and then you're going to want to go ahead and attach it to that, which you do need the special little attachment thing right here to go ahead and put it on, which is, not a big deal. I think I spent $15 on that. This guy was expensive, but this Motiv Products freaking thing, man, it saved me a bunch of time, and I think it's absolutely worth it. I had issues on the bug and whatnot, and I couldn't get the brakes to bleed right, and all kinds of freaking issues and stuff. And I just got this guy, and all my issues were fixed. So hopefully it's gonna work with this too, because these things are the biggest pain in the butt to freaking bleed. Like my truck, oh my gosh, it's so easy to do. I mean, it's so easy to bleed the brakes on that thing, especially by yourself. And as you guys know, I do everything here by myself. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this guy up, top that guy off, grab the wrenches that I need for all of these, along with my bottle and clear vinyl hose, and then we'll go ahead and start the bleeding process. One thing to go ahead and keep in mind whenever you pump this guy up, you don't want to go over 15 pounds of pressure. That's like a big must, because you could break seals and whatnot in the reservoir right here, and you don't want to do that. So we got our pressure bleeder already installed and everything ready to go. Make sure that this little connection right here is definitely tight, because you will leak fluid and you really don't want to get air into the system. I got it set at 15 psi, and now on 350Zs in particular, they have a very specific order of which they want everything done. You can't use the standard bleeding procedure that you can with most vehicles with a 350Z. For some odd reason, it's weird. And this is straight from the Nissan manual. And I'm reading it off just to make sure I don't screw it up. You start with the rear left, then front right, front left. So you're gonna go rear driver, then the front passenger, to the rear passenger, to the front driver. So it's kind of backwards a little bit, but that's how you go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my bottle, loosen up the bleed screw, and go from there. You know, make sure that all the air bubbles are out. After every time I open up the screw, or every other time I open up the screw, especially whenever I'm done with one caliper, I'm gonna come back here and check the level in my power bleeder and the pressure to make sure that we maintain that 15 psi and that our level doesn't get too low, and then we end up putting air into the system. I'm aware that this is definitely some redneck crap that I came up with, but you know what? It has never once let me down, ever. So I'm gonna continue using my redneck crap. And then we'll just open it on up. And the fluid, yep, there it goes. Starts coming on out. Looks really freaking clear. I don't see any bubbles coming out of it, which is really good. I am gonna go ahead and close it off. And now I'm gonna go check my reservoir and my power bleeder and the pressure. And again, there's definitely no air in this one at all. So then we just go ahead and move on to the next one. Cap on it. And now that we have done the driver rear, now we have to go ahead and do the passenger front. Yeah, there's definitely a few bubbles closing on off. Alright, and now let's go ahead and do it again. One thing I'm also doing to make sure that everything goes really well is I'm making sure that the pedal has pressure before I go ahead and bleed, which thankfully it's kept pressure this entire time so far. Now we need to go ahead and move to that one over there, and then we're going to end with the driver front. That had a bubble in it. Okay, go ahead and tighten it on up, check everything, open it back on up, let it bleed again. Right. And now we go move to the last one, which is the front driver. There's a bubble. That is hands down the best that these brakes have felt so far. I will definitely go ahead and put a link below to where you could go ahead and buy one of these bleeders, because this guy is definitely worth it in my opinion. So now we need to go ahead and release the pressure from the system right here, and it's literally this easy. You just grab this guy here, you just turn, and you're gonna hear all the air release. Just like that. Now go ahead and let the line drain everything that it wants to drain into the reservoir. Fine, there ain't no problems with that. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on the reservoir and see how the brakes feel without that guy on it.